And this is the time on the show where we're going to talk about questions that we've received from emails and from our Facebook page and things like that. And one question that we get a lot, and this is because we handle medical malpractice cases, is, do I have a medical malpractice case? Should I go forward with the medical malpractice claim? And the answer to that is really beyond this video, because there are a lot of factors that come into play, and this is why you go see an attorney and sit down and go through all of that stuff. But what I want to talk to you about is specifically the issue of what do you do if you think that a medical doctor or a medical professional has committed medical malpractice. And really there's a couple of things. And the first one is that you should make sure that you go and you get your medical records. That is very, very important. And a lot of times people don't understand that missing that step can really hurt them down the line. So if you think that a doctor may have messed up or may have hurt you in some type of way, you want to make sure that you get your medical records. Now, when you request your medical records, there are some things that you don't want to do. You do not want to tell the medical provider, hey, look, I'm about to sue you, or you're going to be hearing from my lawyers pretty soon. You don't want to do that. You want to go ahead and request your records in a professional manner. You want to be courteous. You don't want to tip them off, or you don't want to tip your hands, so to speak, regarding what you may be doing down the line. So go ahead and try to get your medical records. Now, depending on the type of procedure that you had, if it was a surgery or something like that, you want to get those surgical notes. Those are very, very important. Your surgical notes. You need to make sure that any records that you get contain your surgical notes. Now, again, these are things that you can do on the front end while you're trying to figure out, should you hire a medical malpractice attorney? And I'll wrap it all up and I'll show you how all of this comes into play. But like I was saying, you want to get your surgical notes. Also important, discharge diagnosis or your discharge summary. These things are very important because they let you know what was going on at the time your procedure was going forward. So these are very, very important. The second thing that you may want to do, now again, this is, you're trying to decide, should I get a medical malpractice involved, or should I a medical malpractice attorney? Should I hire a medical malpractice attorney? The second thing you want to do is, if you're still having problems, and again, this is regardless of whether you have an attorney or not, you want to get a second opinion. You want to go and seek help from another medical professional, because that professional will be able to look at what the first doctor or the first professional did and do an analysis. Take a look at some of the records, take a look at the procedure, see what was done, review everything, and then give you a good, a good idea of where you are in the process. So the second thing that you want to do is you want to go and you want to get a second opinion. Now, that second opinion piece, that's very, very important, because what it does is it helps set up the foundation of whether you have a medical malpractice case or not. And the reason that is the case is because here in Maryland, to be successful in a medical malpractice case, you have to have another medical professional, a doctor, to come on record and say that the first doctor essentially screwed up, or the first doctor fell below the standard of care in your situation. So that's what you're looking at on the second, with that second opinion. And if you have an attorney involved, from the beginning, that's what the attorney is going to be doing. The attorney is going to be getting the records, and looking at the records, reviewing the records, getting a medical professional to look and see what was done, to see where there may have been mistakes. But the reason why we're shooting this video is because you may not want an attorney involved right now, but you still may be thinking, there is something that I need to be doing. What should I be doing just in case I need an attorney down the line? So this is why we're shooting this second half of this video, is for you, the person who's watching this right now and kind of thinking, you know what, well, Mr. Boston, I'm not really sure if I should retain your law firm, or I'm not really sure if I should hire an attorney. Because we do have people like that. A lot of our clients, they come in, they've already done a lot of the legwork, or they've already investigated a lot of some of this stuff. They've gotten their records together, and it makes it a lot easier going forward if you have been on top of things since your procedure. So again, I'm going to wrap it up and to just review everything. Step number one, you want to make sure that you get your medical records. If you're in a position and you're kind of wondering, do I have a Maryland medical malpractice case? What do I do? You want to get those medical records from the procedure. Step number two, if you're still having problems, you want to go and see another doctor. You want to go and get that second opinion. You want to find out what that first medical professional did. Did they mess up? Did they fall below the standard of care? What happened? You want to get that second opinion. So hopefully this video has been able to shed light on the medical malpractice procedure here in Maryland, two of the really big steps that you got to be familiar with before going forward. And again, if you have any type of questions and you want help, or you're looking for some guidance, you can give us a call at 301-850-4832. Again, that's 301-850-4832. You can send us an email. That's info@bostonlawllc.com. Again, that's info@bostonlawllc.com. A lot of times we do prefer, if you have email access, that you send us an email. And the reason why that's important is because we have a book that we have written, a consumer guide, which is absolutely free to Maryland residents. And this consumer guide deals with Maryland medical malpractice issues. It's a very helpful guide in that it will give you a very good understanding of not only the process and what I talked about, which is the medical records aspect of things and the second opinion aspect of things, but it also goes into things like, your statute of limitations, how long you have before you can bring a claim, how to deal with your possible health insurance, if you've got liens and things of that nature. Also, it deals with issues on the cap that's here in Maryland on medical malpractice cases, and also on how do you go about picking the best attorney for yourself. So again, if you send us an email at info@bostonlawllc.com, we'll get that consumer guide out to you. If you don't have email access, again, you can give us a call and we will be glad to go ahead and get that out to you, get the guide out to you. All right, well, I see the light over here in the corner flashing. I guess that means it's my time to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. But again, I'm Marcus Boston, and again, if you have any questions, you've got our contact information. I'll see you next time.